We don't need to rock the vote. We need to stop those who are trying to rock the vote. So stop the rock the vote. Let's do this. Let's educate the youth. I have not gone on a political rant in a really long time, but I am thoroughly disgusted with the way that our society is changing by the uneducated, inexperienced youth of today. I'm talking about those high school, college students that are so gung-ho on ripping apart anybody who does not believe what they believe, which is inaccurate misinformation. They are basing everything on following a crowd, following the leader, and not getting the facts. They don't care about facts. They don't care about any of that anymore. Those things don't matter. And I swear to God, if we get these people to vote and they rock that vote, freedom as you know it is out the door. Because these people don't care about a fair trial. They don't care about hearing the facts. They don't care about innocent until proven guilty. They care about none of it. All they care about is hate. These are the same people that keep screaming, love trumps hate. But yet all they spew is hate. We can see it in a video where they screamed out Senator Ted Cruz and his poor wife out of a restaurant. And they applauded themselves for their hatred, for their loathing. They applauded themselves that they were able to make these two people who were innocently having dinner have to leave. That's what you youth find so great. You want to know why there's more and more school murders, school shootings, why there's so much violence in the world? Because none of you care about life. You don't care about anyone else's feelings but yours. Shame on you. Stupid, ignorant young people who don't care about the truth. You only care about getting behind a group so you feel like you belong to something so that you can say you stand for something. How about being brave? Because all you are is a coward. Every time that you scream someone down, you're just nothing but a coward because you don't have the courage to listen to the truth, to listen to the facts, to hear someone else out. No, you don't want to listen to anybody else, but everyone should listen to what you have to say, right? We should all have to hear you because we can't hear anything else above your stupid noise and static, because that's all it is. That's all you are, is noise and static, because you don't speak the truth. You just follow what other people are saying, and you don't care whether it means anything or not, as long as you fit into this group of violence and hate and then claim that you're all about love. You are a contradiction to yourself. And we're going to get to the facts today so that we can educate all of you stupid, dumb, ignorant college students who don't have a clue about anything, who are out there shouting people down and don't give anyone a chance to speak, unless it's on what you want to hear. Then that's perfectly fine. You are not going to let anybody have a voice. You don't care about freedom of speech unless it's your speech. Then, God forbid, if we shut your freedom of speech down, how about if we started shutting yours down? Because if you allow that, eventually, that's what's going to happen. Everything's going to be state controlled, and you're only going to be able to say what they want you to say. That's what you are allowing. So you better start wising up, youth, because you don't understand what in the world you are doing. Now, let's get to Judge Kavanaugh and the Supreme Court nomination. All right, shall we? Shall we get to this whole rape issue that so many of you are standing behind and shouting about, and oh gosh, we're all for survivors' rights. Oh my gosh. I'm going to tell you something right now. I was raped when I was 21 years old by a guy that I brought home from the bar. I was drunk out of my mind. He was drunk out of his mind. Did I report it? No. No, I didn't. Am I bitter about it? No. Because you know what? I'm 50 now. I don't need to talk about things that happened when I was 21 and I was stupid. If she was drinking and he was drinking, okay, we're just going to X this whole thing out because we all act stupid when we're drunk. So here's the moral of the story. Hey, if you're young, don't drink. And if you're a man, here's the thing right now. If you're a young man, you better never, ever, ever get drunk around a girl because that girl can turn around one day and just be like, oh my God, my pants were down to my knees and I don't remember anything. So he must have raped me, right? Is that how we're going to do this? This is how it's going to go? So that means all of you young men, you better stop drinking around young girls or women in general. You better just become gay at this point because there's no hope for you with the new feminist movement that so many of you men are actually standing behind. What's going to happen when one of these women accuse you of rape and you didn't do it? Because that's what we're becoming. That's what you're becoming. That's what you're forcing on the rest of the world. If that's how you want to behave, go for it. That's your business. But don't push it all on us because you all talk about religion. Don't push your religion on me. Don't push your beliefs on me, blah, blah, blah. But yet you want to do it to us. In fact, you do it so much that you force us out of buildings, that you shut us down when we try to talk, and you just cause violent scenes. But don't push your religion on me. Don't push your faith on me. Don't push your ideas on me. You are so hypocritical. So the problem with this whole rape story by this woman, I'm not even going to give her credit by mentioning her name because it disgusts me as a woman. Judge Kavanaugh, we are seeing, is guilty. You all think he's guilty because this woman came out after 40 years? You think she's telling the truth. You think he's guilty. Were you there? What has her story really told you about anything? Let's ask you this. Why didn't she report it sooner? If this happened to her when she was a teenager, why didn't she report it then? Why didn't she tell anybody then? She didn't. She didn't tell anybody. Now, let's also consider the fact that Judge Kavanaugh, he didn't just pop up off the scene out of nowhere. He was just this guy walking down the street, just a nobody who just was, whoa, hey, who was hand-picked to become the Supreme Court nominee. No, wise up. He had been in numerous prominent positions way before this one came along. Why didn't she speak up then? She could have stopped him from becoming a judge, from becoming a prominent lawyer. But did she? No. Now that he is halfway into this nomination, we didn't hear from her in the beginning, right? No, we didn't. We're hearing it months after. Because you liberals are dragging this thing out. You are making this a mockery of the Constitution, of all of the things that our nation is so good at. You're making a mockery of it. You don't want to allow him a fair trial. He's not going to court. She's not filing charges against him. She's just going to come in front of Congress and somehow tell her story. No, that is not how it works, people. She needs to file charges against him. She needs to sue him in court. He needs to have his day in court. She doesn't even want him in the same room. You want to know what? Rapists always have to face their victim. The victim doesn't get a choice whether she faces her rapist or not. Because if you go to trial to try to charge somebody for rape, you have to face that person whether you like it or not. You don't get to say, I don't want him in the same room when I testify against him. Well, that sounds pretty suspicious. Oh, but you liberals, you want to respect her rights, and because you feel so bad for her and you're going to coddle her? How does she get more rights than the woman who was raped walking down the street for no good reason? How come this woman gets more rights than that woman? You see, it's all tangled web of lies and deceit and smoke and mirrors, and all of you young people are buying into it. You don't think 1 second about the woman who's raped just walking down the street, or some guy's waiting in her apartment to rape her for hours and hours and hours. She doesn't get those same rights as this crazy liberal teacher who is coming out 30, 40 years later. You're making a mockery of the topic of rape, but you have been for several years now. Almost a decade you've been mocking rape. Women have been using rape to hurt men, only to come out later and say, I was lying. That guy's life is ruined already. I feel sorry for any young man right now that is out there in this world. They're going to be afraid of women. Is that what you women want? You want men to be afraid of you? You want to be sex objects, but yet you don't want to be sexualized. You want to be a sex object and you want to be sexy and you want a guy, but yet you're going to ruin their lives and you're going to stand behind somebody else who does that and makes you as a woman look ridiculous? Is that what you want? Because that's what you're doing. And men, if you're standing behind this nonsense, you're only hurting yourself. And you're hurting the next generation of young men growing up who are going to be afraid of women, afraid to have a conversation, afraid to be with them, afraid to have a drink with them, afraid to do anything. That's what we are becoming. And that's what you're creating. You are creating this mess. Not us. Not the old people, not your parents, not your grandparents, David Hogg. No. It is you, the youth, who are creating this mess. We had a good thing going on till you all came on the scene and started with this communist, socialist, idealistic nonsense that does not work. You are tearing down the justice system. You are tearing down the truth. You are tearing apart the very fabric of this country. If you hate it and you don't like the justice system, get the hell out. And if your parents are teaching you this nonsense, they can go too. Because anyone who's teaching their children this crappy nonsense, you should be ashamed of yourself for what you are doing, not only to innocent people, but to the rest of this country, because we all have to suffer at the hands of the decision of this outcome. We all do. So if we don't stop the young people from rocking the vote, and what I mean by that is that they sway the vote to the liberal side, they are going to destroy our nation. This is what they're doing. They are destructive. They outburst anything that comes out of their mind. It's like every single youth who's involved in this, it's like you have Tourette's. You can't stop the crap spewing out of your mouth. You all have serious mental issues that if you do this, you think that's okay. But if a Republican or a conservative, or if I say it to you, you're going to come at me and you're going to say I'm spewing hate. Right? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to turn this all around on me and say that, oh, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a Republican, so I'm full of hate. You don't even pay attention to yourself. Have you watched any of your own videos of how ridiculous you look? Spewing out all this crap? Who's spewing out the hate? I'm just responding to your hate. They're forcing their opinions on us. They're forcing their agenda, their ideology on us, not the other way around. Republicans aren't doing that. In fact, I am so ashamed to be a Republican right now because the Republicans are just sitting back and letting this happen. God forbid. We are Republicans. We are supposed to be fighting for justice. We are supposed to be fighting for what's right and to help people get the justice they deserve. But we're all sitting back, just letting all of this happen. And then we wonder how we got to this point in the first place. Because of you. Because you Republicans sit back and you don't say a word. But now you're all like, what the hell's going on? Oh my God, this is crazy. Well, yeah, because you didn't stop it 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago. Obama started this nonsense and it's been carrying on. You've all allowed it to happen. They are unknowledgeable. They are stupid, literally ignorant of the Constitution, of the history of the United States. They don't know anything. We can see tons of videos where these people go to colleges and ask them about state capitol, who's the vice president. They don't know any of that. But yet they'll follow the crowd. They think that Bernie Sanders' agenda, which is really Trump's agenda, is brilliant. But then you put Trump's name on it and it's really bad. So that just goes to show how stupid these people are. And you're going to let stupid people rock the vote. You're going to let them sway the vote? They are cowards. They are absolute cowards. They have no guts to speak the truth. They only want to yell at people. They only want to shout people down. They don't have the courage to listen to anything rational because they're irrational. They're like little children that need Play-Doh and chalk and fuzzy little things to make them feel good. It's all about their feelings. It's all about their feelings. Keep in mind, it's their feelings that matters, not ours. Not anyone else's, just theirs. Their feelings matter, not yours. Communism, that's what it is. All right, where you all have to think the same. Okay, do your history lesson on Hitler. Okay, maybe you should learn a little bit about him, but some of you think that he was a brilliant genius and we should go back to those things because you're acting like it. The youth have no life experience. They've been coddled all the way from their childhood to college because they're all part of that everyone wins mentality. Oh, we don't want to make anyone feel bad, so everyone gets a prize. There is no honor roll. You don't get a prize for being smart. You don't get noticed for doing hard work because everyone should win. My best friend's husband worked so hard at his job that every single month he would get recognized. And eventually the staff got so bothered by it because he kept winning these awards and getting acknowledged that they stopped it because it hurt their tiny little feelings because they were young kids and he was older. He's a grown adult. He's a civilized grown adult who worked very hard for his money to take care of his family, while the youth did nothing. And they were so hurt by the fact that this guy who worked his butt off kept getting recognized and they didn't. So the whole program stopped. So it doesn't matter how hard you work anymore or how good you do anymore, because these little snot rags are going to come in and be like, why does he get recognized and I don't? Why does he make more money and I don't? Because you're sitting back there doing nothing but complaining about everything while everyone else is doing your job because you're not doing it. I'm going to ask some of you young people out there who probably aren't watching, but I'm going to ask you these hypothetical questions. And what I'd like to do, if young people aren't watching or whoever is watching who's in the same agreement with me on this and is feeling the same way, I dare you to ask these tough questions to these kids. Let's start. What if this nominee were a Democrat? What if he was a liberal? What if it was a liberal and now this woman came out against him? Would these young kids still be shouting everyone down? And would these politicians, these Democratic politicians like the one from Hawaii, be saying, no, we're not going to listen to his side of the story. We believe every word she says. Do you really think that would happen? No. They would be shutting this girl down like there's no tomorrow. You know why I know this? Because it happened under Bill Clinton. Because it happens whenever a liberal gets caught in something like this. And I mean caught. Because they have proof that they have done this. This woman doesn't. Usually it's this MoveOn.org organization that is behind all of these people, and George Soros, who's paying someone to do something illegal that's being paid to do this. This is George Soros and MoveOn.org, and it's all part of this liberal agenda to just shut down Trump. This has nothing to do with Judge Kavanaugh. This has everything to do with Trump. They just want to shut down Trump. They want to shut down anything that he's doing because he's doing such a great job for our country. God forbid that he should be bringing our country up and not tearing it down like Obama did. Obama started the hate where we are all torn and divided. We are at a civil war. We're at a civil war without guns. We're at a civil war of words. We're at a civil war of hate. And you all are tearing down the statues of our history of those who hated. But you will have your own statues erected of yourself because you're so proud of your hate. We should erect statues of Obama, who started the hate. We should have statues of Feinstein. Are those the people that we should be looking up to? Really? Nancy Pelosi? Seriously, it's all a matter of opinion and what you think. But you can't tear down the world because of what you think and what you feel. Because it's not real. What you feel is just a feeling. It is not reality. Now, the other thing I want to ask is, if the Republicans were talking like this, how would the Democrats be acting? They'd be all in an uproar. You know how I know that? Because I was in Wisconsin, where the cowardly liberal politicians were so angry with Scott Walker that they literally left the state and went to Illinois. Wham, all the way to run away. They just run away and make a scene. They're like little 3-year-old children having temper tantrums. And that's what you all look like. That is seriously what you look like. How do you like watching a child throw a temper tantrum in a store? Huh? Do you like that? Because that's what you look like. Seriously. That's how ridiculous you look. And if this were a Republican stance and the Republicans were going crazy about this woman and saying, oh, she's telling the truth, you would all be going, oh, really? Oh, what about freedom of speech? What about a fair trial? Blah, 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 blah. You would all be now talking about what I'm talking about. It's just so funny to me how you don't think things through, how you don't consider the other side. You're only thinking about yourself, and you're only thinking about an agenda, not the truth. Now, the other thing I want to ask is to the men, to the young men, who are standing behind this woman and screaming survivor rights, blah, 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 me too, blah, blah, blah. Now, what if you were accused? What if you got drunk with some girl one night and all of a sudden the next 30 years later, you've got your life going on, everything's fantastic, good things are happening to you, and this woman just comes out of nowhere and just smears your reputation. She just completely ruins your life. And you've got people at your door shouting you down at your house. You can't leave the house because everywhere you go, someone's going to harass you. You're going to get death threats. You're getting all this stuff. But nobody wants to give you a fair trial because you've already been doomed by this woman. She's already made her accusation and everyone else believes her. And you're going, I didn't do this. Oh my gosh. And now your whole life is ruined. Your family, your job, your income, it's all gone. What if that were to happen to you? Oh, you think it won't? Keep hanging out with these new feminists Become one of those new feminists. Keep siding with them and watch them turn on you so fast it'll make your head spin 30, 40 years later, because we all know that this is drink fest for a lot of you. You're all out there drinking and acting idiotic, and then you go out partying and you're like, yeah, whoop it up, and you're all having like free sex like it's the 60s, and then some girl one day is just going to be like, I think he raped me. I don't think I was consensual in that. He seems to be making it really well. I think I'm going to have my 15 minutes of fame and I'm going to go out there and ruin his life. And I don't have to tell the truth always, because I'll come out 5, 6 years later and tell the world that it really wasn't true. Imagine if that happened to you, because it's happening all over. And many men's life are being ruined because of these false accusations, and these women should be punished for it. What if this was your dad? What if this was your brother? What if this was your son? What if it was you? I want to ask all of you, how many of you still think Bill Clinton was a great president? Oh, wait, you do? Oh, because he was a Democrat, right? So you're behind him, right? You love Bill Clinton because you loved Hillary, right? You wanted Hillary to be president, didn't you? Hey, let's think about this. Do you know Hillary's history? How she got rapists off who truly raped women and then laughed about it? Did you know that Hillary Clinton accused every woman who had accused her husband of raping them or having an affair with them a liar and a hussy and a whore? Did you know that? You didn't. Well, you really should do your research. You really should go back to the tapes, because I say tapes because back then it was tapes, of when Clinton was first accused of the Monica Lewinsky scandal, and how Hillary totally defended her husband and said that Monica Lewinsky was nothing but a liar, looking for attention. Oh, yes, she did. Your hero in a pantsuit is a disgusting human being who has accused everyone who has come forth to testify, and has been proven true that he was a rapist. She called every single one of them a liar. But now all of a sudden, she thinks this woman's telling the truth. Well, isn't that a coinky-dink, Hillary? How everyone who comes against your husband as a rapist is a liar. But anyone who comes against a Republican, they're telling the truth. Oh, how convenient. Now, are you saying Clinton was a great president? Are you still saying he's a great man? Because he's still out there raping women. Because he can get away with it. Because you people keep thinking he's great. You don't listen to the facts. Nobody wants it anymore. They don't care when a woman against Bill Clinton comes out. The Clintons just pay her off. That's okay. But if Trump pays off a woman who's coming out with accusations, that's a scandal. It's still happening with Bill Clinton. Okay, so if you want to talk about Trump, you need to look at Bill Clinton, but none of you are willing to even listen to that. You think I'm sitting here telling you a lie. I'm 50 years old compared to your 20. I lived through the Clinton years. I lived through that scandal. I watched it. I watched it unfold. I know all about the murders under the Clintons. You don't know about that either, or you just don't care to know about the facts, do you? You all stand behind this guy and his wife. You don't care for those of you who survivor rights, we believe the survivor. What about Hillary Clinton staying with this guy who raped women? How many of you think that's okay? She's still with him. You know why she's with him? She's using him for political gain. She used his presidency to build up her own political career. They don't have a loving marriage. They don't have a good marriage. He's out having 9,000 affairs and she's building up her political career off of his back. That's okay? That's all right. You feminists really want to stay with a rapist? You think that Hillary Clinton staying with a rapist and a man who continues to cheat on her and ruin their family, you think that's okay? You think that woman is okay? She's an idiot if you ask me. It just goes to show that she doesn't care what really goes on in her own bedroom and her own family. Why should we trust her with the country? If she will let her husband get away with those things, and if she's using him and manipulating him to get what she wants, what is she going to do for our country? The same damn thing. So I guess the next and last question I'm going to ask you, does any of that matter to you? Does any of that sink in? Or are you going to continue to listen to the lies that are being spewed out by the media, who has also been proven to be liars and has actually had to come out and admit they've lied? They're pretty proud of the fact that they're lying. You think that's okay? Lying is okay as long as it fits your agenda. Screaming and yelling and hating other people is okay as long as it fits your agenda. Shutting people down to speak the truth is okay as long as it's on your agenda. Hate for anyone who disagrees with you is okay because you're tolerant. You're the tolerant ones, right? You are the tolerant one. You are the ones who are coming at us and telling us that we need to be tolerant of gay people. We need to accept abortion. We need to accept gay marriage. We have to be like you. But when we talk about our beliefs, it's shut up, shut up, shut up, noise, 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 noise. That just goes to show what spoiled, ignorant little brats you all are. If you vote liberal, if you vote Democrat, and I'm not saying the Republicans are great because they're far from it, but they're not this far crazy. They're not this far communist. If you let those people in, kiss it all goodbye. Kiss this country as you know it goodbye, because what you are witnessing these kids do today, that is your whole new world. I also want to say this. As someone who just went through a friend's murder trial, I was duped. I believed everything this girl told me because she was a friend of mine. She lied to me, she betrayed me, she manipulated me, she used me. She lied to so many people, including her own brother, about what this person did to her, when in fact she was part of the abuse and the threats. And I didn't find that out until 2 years later, until we went to trial and all the facts were presented. So my point is that if I can believe my friend committed murder and was justified in doing so, and I believed that, and I believed her because she was my friend, if I believed that, only to find out that I had been lied to, and then to find out the facts, the truth is you can't believe anyone until you hear the whole entire story. And if you start making quick judgments on people based on what you think you know, because that's what that person's telling you, you don't even know this woman. I knew this woman who killed this man. She was a friend of mine. She was a friend of many. She was lying to her brother. So it just goes to show that you can't trust everything someone says. You have to let the facts be presented first. That is the lesson that I learned through this, is that you can't believe everything that comes out of someone's mouth to justify their misdeeds. This woman is lying. And I think a lot of people know that. You're just trying to jump on the bandwagon of hate and trying to stop this nomination from going through. That's all you care about. You don't care about this woman. You don't even know her. And if you did, you might not know the truth like I did. I didn't know the real truth about my friend until the trial came out. So you really need to stop.
making these quick judgments on people. You don't want it done to you, so don't do it to others.